And now I'm going to do this painting I drew on the canvas. The canvas is prepped with gesso, and I'm going to I'm going to cover her with the contact paper because basically I want the paint flowing hair, but I have to do the details of the face. So I traced her and onto contact paper, and I'm going to cover her face so that the paint doesn't go on the face and I could do the details of the face later. As you can see, I love doing fluid art in hair, and this was one of my first ones, not my very first one. This one is the lava-haired lady and the redhead hat lady. My latest one is Rainbow Lady, or Lady Rainbow actually. Just going to lay it right over the drawing. I like to leave a little bit flapping out so I could peel it off easily after the pour, because sometimes the pour just gets everywhere. All right, ta-da. And the colors are all pre-mixed. These are acrylic paints that are pre-mixed. And I'm going to do something a little different because, as you notice, I did like the redhead and the fire hair and blue hair. And what I'm going to do is golden colors. So I've got gold, brown, I've even got silver and yellow. And I want to see how that goes. And I have a metallic gold that is just frickin' gorgeous. So I think I want that to be a dominant color here, so we'll see how that goes, okay? I'm going to start with pouring white around so that the paint flows on the white and goes over the edge. I like that. I like it to do that. Let's go with this gold. And I just pour directly on the canvas. I don't mix them all together. Now when I swipe the paint that I've poured, sometimes I use a little card, it's a cut off of a photo card. Sometimes I use a tool and swipe it. Sometimes I even use this. And sometimes I wet a paper towel, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to wet the end of the paper towel, and I'm going to very carefully, actually not carefully, this is the fun part, and I'm going to do some swirling motions as I swipe. There's one. Do a new one. I get the end of it wet. Oh my gosh, the cells that are forming are unbelievable. Whoa. I don't know how to position my camera on top like a lot of people do that do the video tutorials. So you just have to kind of see this after the fact. All right, I'm going to do, actually, so keep wetting that. Actually, I don't know which one I want to use, do I? There we go. And the last swipe will be on this side. Little twirly motion there. All right, let me bring this in because I don't want to lift the canvas. All right, I hope that you got a good view there. I didn't see what you were seeing. Now I'm just taking the paint, and I'm taking my tool to add a few swipes that, oh, those, I don't know if I want to ruin that side. That side is so gorgeous. Whoa. I'll bring you in for a close-up in a minute. Let me finish playing around here. And that's basically what I do is I play. I like that silver streak. I'm going to leave that. Sometimes I don't know what it's going to look like when it's done, when it dries, because it's moving. It's fluid art and it just moves. So if I like this and then later on it's just completely different. You know, I didn't get much going on there, but I can paint that later. Let me see. The cells are so beautiful. I've got a Nikki, quiet. So I'm going to do a little bit more of the gold over here because I don't want to disrupt those beautiful cells. They're so gorgeous. So I'm going to use this. And this is where I use the tool to create certain effects. And if there's a lot of paint, which I used a lot of paint, then it can get muddy if I keep playing with it, like all the colors running together and I lose the cells. So this is where I have to be a little careful. Let me bring you in for a close-up. Hear my dog barking in the background? This is the close-up. Aren't those gorgeous, those cells? Again, I did not use silicone in this painting either. There, that's just, I'm going to leave that. That's just freaking gorgeous. And that's the metallic paint there. So, see how shiny it is when it's wet? It's a lot different when it dries. So let's let that sit for a while and see what happens. There is something I almost forgot to do. This actually brings, by torching the paint, it brings out even more cells, and it also will remove bubbles. So I'm going to torch this and be very careful not to set it on fire. I see that the paint is kind of going in a direction that I'm not too thrilled with, so I'm just going to take this tool and swipe it to go flow differently. Yeah, that's better. I actually think I want to add more yellow there. This is where, as it's drying, and it does take a day to dry, really a long time because there's so much paint. This is where I end up playing with it a little bit, sometimes too much. But after I swipe it, I could see exactly what it needs in terms of where I want the color. That's going to blend, but also, I wish you could see more what I'm doing. Let me hold the camera while I'm swiping. And that's my dog barking, as always. This is me playing around. But that yellow streak over here where there was just too much gold and brown wasn't so colorful on that side. Do a little yellow this way, very carefully. Oh yeah. Yeah. Now, this has been sitting for an hour, and I peeled off the contact paper, and now because I've got hair coming in the face area while it's still a little wet, actually very wet, but settled a bit, I don't think it's going to move around much. But at this point I want to blend the bangs coming into the face with the pour. So I'm not using pour paint. These are not mixed paints. And I'm going to just get some bangs coming in. And then I'm going to paint the face after it's dry. The paint has completely dried. It's the next day, and as you can see, it really looks nice. And so now I'm going to paint the details of the face. And for that, because it's so intricate in terms of the detail, instead of using a fine brush, I tend to use my paints that are very fine brushes, and also these by is it by Artesia? These are also paint. They're just almost like a marker. They're like paint markers, and I just start doing the details of the face, and you're not going to be able to see too much because I have to have it down here to do this. So I'm going to just show you like a half a minute of, have to shake the paint and test it. All right, I'm going to just get started on it and then I'll show you the finished product. Okay, here she is. I finished her. Ta-da! Put her on the wall. There she is. The golden hair. Calling her Golden Girl. That metallic gold really shines. As a matter of fact, I should take it off the wall and show you in the light what that does. Wonder if what angle I can get at. Can you see how that metallic light just glows? Look how it glows there. It's still drying, but there it is.